Hi, this is Evan Deal, and welcome to Living in Indianapolis, Indiana. On today's episode, we're going to dive into the cobbled streets of Zionsville, Indiana, and explore why this northwest suburb of Indianapolis is so unique and amazing. But before we get into all that, be sure you like this video and hit the thumbs up button. Smash the bell for notifications and hit that subscribe button as well so that you stay in the loop for everything that's happening on Living in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're going to take you all around the city, exploring the suburbs and the city itself to show you what makes all the different areas of Indianapolis wonderful and unique. Now with that, let's dive into Zionsville. So what's the first thing that makes Zionsville so unique? It's really that it's like a small town vibe next to the big city of Indianapolis. So Zionsville, the downtown, it has all this beautiful historic charm across the board. It's got cobblestone streets, and there's a whole array of local businesses. There's places to eat like the Salty Cowboy, and it's just a really neat vibe that's unique amongst all the Indy suburbs. It's on the north side in the northwest, and it's kind of off by itself in that area. You know, you have Brownsburg a little bit further south. There's Lebanon, also in Boone County. And then you have the Hamilton County cities like Westfield and Carmel off to the east. But Zionsville stands alone, and its vibe is definitely distinct. Not only that, the Indianapolis Colts training facility is right there, right in the Zionsville area. And so you have a ton of Indianapolis Colts players there, which is really cool because they tend to cluster more in the Zionsville area. Since that's where they are most of the time. So you might see, a local athlete there in the plum market just getting coffee on a random Tuesday. It's a really cool vibe and very unique amongst all of Indianapolis. And not only that, it's easy to hop down I-65 and get right to downtown. So while it's isolated, it's not totally cut off from everything else. It is easy to hop on I-65, 465, and get around from Zionsville as well. For the second pro of living in Zionsville, I sound like a broken drum here talking about the north side suburbs in Indianapolis, but the schools in Zionsville are among the highest rated in the state. They are consistently around the top 5 to the top 10 in all of Indiana, and certainly in the Indianapolis metropolitan area. So the schools here in Zionsville High School, which has about 2,000 students there, are very, very highly rated and highly considered amongst school rankings throughout Indiana. And there's lots of opportunity as well. They've got robotics and show choir and really anything you could want to get involved in from a community aspect within the school system. So there's really a lot to like about educational opportunities and the high graduation rate. And like a lot of other areas around Indianapolis, Zionsville features a ton of green space. So there are parks galore within Zionsville, and it's also known as the town within a park. It's a nickname for the area. The Big 4 Trail, which connects to Whitestown, is a really great place to walk a dog, ride a bike, and get out and about. You also have the Heritage Trail Dog Park, somewhere where you can take your canine friend, get out and play and have a good time and talk to other dog owners. You even have Elm Street Garden, which is just steps away from downtown, where you can really get out into nature, enjoy, walk around, and really just get out in the green space that makes Zionsville such a nice country retreat, which is right by the city, but really standing on its own with just bountiful opportunities in nature. So the fourth pro for living in Zionsville is the amazing local culinary scene. And this really varies depending on what suburb you're in Indianapolis. So it's definitely a point in Zionsville's favor. And let's dive into some of the options there. You have Hopwood Cellars Winery, where you can get tastings of local wine. Insiders swear by the blackberry blend and the live music nights. And it's really just a really cool and vibrant place to be. You also have Salty Cowboy's Tequila Twist. Now this is a place where you can get a great Tex-Mex meal right off of Main Street. So it's definitely worth checking out. They sling killer margaritas. They've got tacos. They've got everything you want there. It's a great place for a Friday night or a party night. And then there's the Zionsville Farmers Market, where you can get all of your fresh produce. So farm to table has been a big thing in Indianapolis, and Hawthorne Street brings artisanal breads, local honey, goat cheese. It's just perfect for foodies or people who like good, fresh, clean ingredients. And then there's even places like Rush on Main, which we featured in another video as well on our Elite Icon Team channel. So, needless to say, there are tons of local options. These are just a few. And Zionsville, Main Street, and really great downtown give you a ton of options to go out to eat. Places that are really unique to the area as opposed to some of the other suburbs where you see a lot more chain restaurants. Definitely a unique cultural vibe. All right, now let's talk about the cons. The number one con of living in Zionsville is the price of entry. Zionsville is the most expensive suburb to live in around Indianapolis, where the median price point is in the $400,000 to $500,000 range, and really most things are in that $500,000 plus. There are still areas to build within Zionsville, but it's a lot more exclusive than other areas around Indianapolis. There's a lot of lots, there's a lot of nature, and it's a really nice community, and the homes are really, really nice all throughout Zionsville. You see tons of custom build luxury mansions. We've actually featured one of these before, and a lot of high-end residences as well. The neighborhoods can have higher fees with them as well when they have higher amenities. So the price of entry to Zionsville is on the more expensive side for Indianapolis. Now the second con is, and you've heard me say it before in other Indianapolis videos, but it's winter. Winter is not great around Indianapolis. It's not as bad as a lot of places north of Indianapolis, but it's not great either. So Zionsville is no exception here. All that nature that's so wonderful 3 seasons out of the year doesn't come in as handy when it's 0 degrees outside and there's snow on the ground. So it's a bit of a snowmageddon. There's 20 to 30 inches of snow on an annual basis. There can be spots of black ice depending on where you're looking. Sometimes actually around the Colts practice facility, you can get patches of black ice there. And there can even be snowplow delays occasionally. Some places like Sycamore Street in Old Town Zionsville. It's just something to look out for. And it's not unique to Zionsville. I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Indianapolis can suffer during the winter, but it's just something to look out for when you're looking at moving to Zionsville. Another one of the cons of living in Zionsville is there's really not much of like a nightlife scene. So Main Street, there's tons to do within Zionsville, but it's more of the historic rustic charm type of feel for the downtown. It's not like a vibrant all-night partying type of downtown. So there's not as much entertainment catering to sort of the happening, late night downtown type of feel. So if that's something you're interested in, you may have to hop on the interstate, get down to Indianapolis, or pop over to one of the other suburbs as well. And the last con of living in Zionsville, and it's not unique to Zionsville once again, is construction and traffic hell. And this happens all the time around Indianapolis in different suburbs. Depending on when you're traveling around, at peak hours, places can get backed up on the interstate. It's very common across the north side. We're talking on 65 and 465. Zionsville is not immune from this, being in the northwest. So especially if you're going downtown, there can be traffic backups. So plan accordingly on your commute. So depending on where you're working, you may want to look at different communities to plan your route accordingly. Or you could look at commute times. And of course, with the winters here, with the freezing, unfreezing on the asphalt, we do have issues in and around all of Indianapolis with roads. And roads mean construction during the warmer months. So Zionsville is not immune to this either. There's plenty of construction to be had, especially on the roads in the warmer months. It's just a fact of life in Indianapolis. So those were our pros and cons for living in Zionsville, Indiana. And really, Zionsville is an awesome place to live. There's so much opportunity there to really build custom, amazing homes. They do have a higher price of entry for lots and for the homes themselves within Zionsville. But if it's within your budget, it's definitely a place to check out. The downtown is great. It really has a different vibe than anywhere else around the city of Indianapolis. And it stands on its own as, like I said, a truly unique suburb with tons of nature and just a historic rustic charm. So that's all for us today on Living in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm Evan Deal. Be sure to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so that you are aware of that every time we drop a new video. And we drop 2 of these every single week, sometimes with surprise videos as well. So definitely stay in the loop for everything that's happening here in the 317, and we can't wait to see you in the next one.